Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's webinar, How to Make the Most of a Virtual Summer. We've got three great programs to share with you tonight, or this evening, whatever you want to call it. Just a couple housekeeping items first is we do have a couple of handouts on here that we created. If you go into the GoToWebinar control panel and click next to the handouts, you'll see two handouts. One of them is our summer test prep schedule and some information about our summer courses for credit, as well as we've put together a list of, I think there's about 300 different activities you can do for free over the summer to keep yourself busy. Most of it is located in the state of Florida. But that was something Barbara put together. I thought you guys might find that interesting. So that's it. If you're having audio difficulties, click on the audio part of the GoToWebinar control panel, and you will see the ability to call in by phone. It takes a couple of seconds to get online, but it works just fine. I've had to do it myself on a couple of occasions. And if you have any problems when that doesn't fix it, send me an email, jason@scoreatt.com, and I'll see what I can do to help. Just a couple of quick polls before we get started. First one, just wanted to find out a little bit about they're both about who our audience is. So I just wanted to find out who's in the audience. I'm just gonna launch this one real quick. If you can start filling this out. Whoops, yep, it should be out there. Oh, shoot. Oh man, I messed it up. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be able to show that one. It won't let me now. So let me see where you're watching from. Okay, polls open. Just gonna keep it open for about 30 seconds. Let's see if I can. About 5 seconds to go. Got 70% of you guys have voted. All right, I'm gonna close it up just so everyone can see. Most East Coast United States, predominantly from Florida, I'm assuming, since we're located in Florida. But that's interesting. I'm gonna see if I can get that other poll back up and running, and I'll launch it later in the webinar once I get that one done. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. So who do we have with us tonight? First up is Ron Pratt from Capital Debate. Ron has given his life to developing debate skills in children because he has seen how it enhances their intellectual growth. He's involved in creating high school debate and college debate programs to help students learn practical skills that will benefit and enrich their lives. Ron Pratt has achieved outstanding success in the competitive debate circuit. Ron also started Capital Debate, America's leading high school debate institute at Catholic University. The institute drew over 200 students from nearly 30 states. Its success is evident from the numerous national debate champions that have graduated from its halls. Next, we have Willie Oppenheim. He's an educator, a researcher, and the leader of social enterprise that works to facilitate relationships, dialogue, and learning between change agents around the world. Willie came up with the initial idea for Omprakash at the age of 18 after serving as a volunteer English teacher in northern India in 2004. The organization began a platform connecting volunteers with social impact organization and has evolved to include a crowdfunding platform and an online learning ecosystem that helps students grapple with the complexity of crossing differences of culture and power with the intention of doing good. Willie attended Bowdoin College in Brunswick, Maine, where he completed a self-designed major in religion, education, and anthropology, and went on to earn his doctorate in education as a Rhodes Scholar at the University of Oxford. His PhD research focused on demand for girls schooling in rural Pakistan, Willie has worked in classrooms in the United States, India, Pakistan, and China, and in the wilderness as a faculty member at the National Outdoor Leadership School. He lives in Seattle and teaches intermittently at the University of Washington alongside his ongoing leadership of Omprakash. Finally, we have Susan Cormick from Summer Discovery. She is the relationship manager for educational consultants and advisors at Summer Discovery, the leading pre-college academic and internship program for high school students. In this role, she manages the relationships with Summer Discovery's referral partners, supporting them as the work with students and parents to plan transformative summers. Susan joined Summer Discovery 13 years ago and is most happy when she's traveling around the world, visiting schools and speaking with students about their educational plans and goals. Prior to joining Summer Discovery, Susan was a marketing communications executive working with both corporate and not-for-profit organizations. When not working, she enjoys volunteering, experiencing the arts, spending time with her now grown son, Benjamin, whose journey through high school and the college admissions process is a story she loves to share. Finally, we have Barbara Leventhal, who is the representative from Score at the Top and Junior Benefits Associates Educational Consulting. She brings to our educational consulting practice more than 30 years of experience as a teacher, administrator, and college counselor. Barbara likes to say, all parents take great pride in the special qualities of their children. My role is to define those qualities and channel them in unique ways that tell a compelling story for college admissions. Many parents know Barbara as the guru behind student projects. Her ideas inspire students to create original projects based on their interests. Fully engaged with her proteges, she then guides them through project implementation. Some have created projects that drew thousands of dollars in donations, and others have written and published Amazon best-selling books. Thank you all for being here tonight. A little bit about tonight's format. We're going to do short presentations from each of the programs in alphabetical order, followed by a Q&A session led by Barbara. At any time during the presentation, feel free to send in your own questions via the GoToMeeting control panel. There's a little questions area, and I will pop in at the end and ask your questions, or as many as we can get through before time is up tonight. And anything that we can't get through, I will send over to the programs and see if I can get everybody else their answers. So I am now going to turn this presentation over to Ron. Let me just let's see here. All right. There we go.
Well, thank you, Barbara, and for having me as part of Score at the Top. And Jason, I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be part of this wonderful group. I know that all of us as educators and parents are really going through some changing times and difficult times. And one of the things that's really important now is to think about, what is really important for your child to be able to get into the college of their dreams. And I'd like to speak to you about something that I've been doing my whole life that I'm very passionate about, and that's public speaking and debate. Let me tell you a little bit about our company. We're called Capital Debate, and I founded this in 2006. I started in Baltimore, Maryland, although I'm originally from the New Jersey, New York area. Our focus is teaching summer public speaking and debate camps and communication camps. We go on to campuses across the world. We're in Singapore and we're in about 20 different states. Like, for example, at Harvard, Yale, and Dartmouth, we'll go ahead and we'll rent out the dorms and the classrooms, and we'll eat there. And the kids get a living experience on college there for 2 weeks, and we teach them public speaking and debate. But we also run online summer camps. We've been in a position where most of the college campuses have closed for the summer because of COVID. So we've moved over to a virtual summer camps, and we're very experienced at. We've been doing virtual camps since 2012. Because we've been doing online classes throughout the school year. We do private tutoring. A lot of parents call and say, you know, my student has a debate tournament coming up. Can you work with them? Or they'll tell me that, you know, they'll say, my student has a speech. Can you help him with this or her with the speech? You can see our wonderful staff there. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and so I've gathered quite a group of educators that have been working with me for many years. They typically are classroom instructors. They've been around for 15 to 30 years in the classroom, so they really know the students' learning needs. So why is debate important, public speaking in debate? Now I have 10 minutes, but I'm going to try to put this into 3 main points, and that is that, you know, how important it is for their high school career, how it helps them get into college, and also the job market, which is really important. So the first area is that debate improves student grades. I mean, anecdotally, I've been involved in debate for over 35 years, and I've personally witnessed that most of our students graduate in the top of their class with the highest grades. Now, why? It's pretty, and I ask a lot of them when they graduate, like, why did debate make a difference? I mean, I've witnessed it. Well, one is obviously they have better presentation style, so they could do better when they do speeches in class. But the other thing is that the second thing is they get better writing skills, because debaters and speakers have to be able to present their ideas in a logical manner, good opening, you know, have 2 to 4 main points that, you know, support their case with a memorable conclusion. And so that's typically what they have to do in writing essays in high school, so they're getting better grades. They're also, their participation grade is always higher than their peers, because they read about healthcare, and they debate the economics and foreign policy, and they're debating all these topics. So when they come up in class, they have a high credibility, you know, teaching these. So the fourth one is obviously they get really good research skills. I mean, they have to research a lot in scholarly articles and critical thinking skills. I mean, what teachers realize about their students is that they're not on the superficial level of discussing issues in class. I mean, they're able to take it multiple levels deeper, and I think that increases their ethos and ultimately their grade. So the next one is, so it increases their grades, which is important to get into a good college. We would say one of the top 2 items, and the other one, depending on the college, is, you know, your SATs, your SAT scores. It has been found that debate and public speaking events, increase a students' standardized test scores. There was a study conducted by Tammy Peters out of Colorado in 2001. She watched the kids through their freshman year all the way to their senior year participate in debate activities. And her conclusion, after looking at their SAT scores compared to the control group, was that debate and public speaking events increased their standardized test scores, SAT and ACT. Now, here's really interesting. When they developed the new SAT test, in 2016, the one that they brought in for this was David Coleman, who is the CEO right now of the College Boards, and he was an amazing debater in high school. And what he's been quoted as saying is that this new SAT and the way that they make you analyze reading passages need thinkers, critical thinkers, and he thought that debaters would have a substantial edge over the competition. And there are certain reasons for this. And let me explain it. If you go back a slide, that the first one is, I mean, the reading section. Plain and simple, what debaters have to do when they create cases, they have to go read tons of articles. They have to make sure they're well supported. They have to read it. They have to know what the author's main conclusion is, what evidence they use to support their main conclusion, what's their claims, is it sound. And that's exactly what the reading passages on the SAT asks students to do. So they have found that debaters do much better. Obviously, on the writing section, they've done a lot better because they have to, because of their vocabulary and reading, be able to finish the sentences, and then the essays because they've written so many cases. So the studies, and anecdotally, I've seen my students in debate have improved SAT scores from doing debate. So overall, let me look at the previous screen. This is a study that found that students that competed in debate had a much higher rate of getting into the college of their choice. But what's really interesting is kids who are on the who were captains of the debate team had a 60% higher chance of getting into a higher college. Now, John Saxon was the former dean of NYU, the president of NYU, and he once said that I could go to any debate tournament in the United States and find some student that made it to the quarterfinals, recruit them for NYU without knowing anything else, and I know they'll succeed. And which is amazing. And this is what a lot of college admissions people think. And look, a lot of our top students who are going for these top colleges, a lot of them have the 14, 15, 1600, the highest possible grades. So in order to differentiate, what employers are finding is that they want to have, people with increased communication skills. They have to be able to communicate. They're the ones who are winding up being more successful. The next thing is that we found is that it improves their job prospects. I mean, this research finds that employers think that the communication skills are one of the most important things that they can, an applicant can have for their workplace. And then second is teamwork. So you can see that debate is really plays a big role in a student's life. So this is what we do for a living. I mean, I run public speaking courses throughout the country. We teach kids verbal and nonverbal skills. We teach them, how to really present a passionate speech before an audience. We teach them how to write a speech, like I said, a good introduction with main points that are backed up with a memorable conclusion, so you get your writing skills. Debate. This is something that we've been doing for minutes. This is our mainstay. We teach them how to write a case, how to be strategic, how to cross-examine, how to refute, how to think on your feet. But we have other communication courses, STEM, kids who want to communicate in science, Shark Tank for business communications. A lot of kids love that, or Endeca. Interpersonal, our kids need to learn how to communicate. And more importantly, interviewing for college. I mean, this can make a huge difference for the students. So I had to go quick, but my name is Ronald Pratt. You can see our URL right there on the screen. I guess they put lots of languages. It's team@capitaldebate.com. If you have any questions, please email us at team@capitaldebate.com. I'll get it. Our phone number is on there. And then our URL if you want to learn more about the company. But I really thank everyone for being present and for me being invited. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We're gonna make our next presenter. Is Willie Oppenheim from Omprakash. And Willie, you can bring your camera on.
Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Can you see me and hear me now? See my screen? Seems like
we got you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Ron, for that great presentation. My name is Willie Oppenheim, and as Jason said in the introduction, I founded an organization called Omprakash over 15 years ago. And today I really want to focus on our newest program, which is called Widening Circles, and is really custom built, purpose built for this moment that your children and students and that you are facing. It's a moment of huge disruption and transition and many people are at home, or if not literally in their home, they are still not able to travel and reach out as far as they might like to as they seek to gain new experiences and learning. So our Widening Circles program is really intended for people in exactly that situation, whether that's looking for a gap year or something to do this summer, or perhaps taking a semester off, or if your student has graduated, that might be less of the audience here, but this is a highly adaptable program that combines a number of different components. The kind of cornerstone of the program is an online internship with a social impact organization within the Omprakash network, and I'll tell you more about what that means in a moment. We'll also be supporting your students to engage with local issues wherever they are. All of this is going to be going on in our custom Edge online learning platform, and within that platform, your students are going to get a lot of peer-to-peer learning and personalized mentorship from within our team. And through that whole experience, they're ultimately going to build a digital portfolio which they can showcase to admissions officers and future employers. And throughout all of this, also crucially, there's going to be a lot of personal reflection, which many of our students say, help them rethink what they want to major in and really their whole life direction. So I want to tell you lots more about this Widening Circles program, but I'm going to first just step back and tell you a bit more about Omprakash. And so Omprakash is a nonprofit that fundamentally does two things. As Jason said in the introduction, in the big picture, what we do is we build relationships and positive collaboration between social change agents around the world. What that means more concretely is we connect students with internship and volunteer opportunities within a vetted network of partner organizations in 47 countries. And we've been doing this for 15 years. So your students or children or you can come and browse our partners all around the world based on the type of work that they do. And we help students gain experience in these many different fields, having really truly immersive internships. And we do that within this growing network of vetted organizations. We started as just a handful of partners in North India in 2004, and now, as you can see, we have 178 partners around the world. That's the first main thing we do. The second main thing we do is we build really robust online learning experiences for students that prepare them for these internships and deepen their learning throughout the process. Now, we've been doing that for the online learning piece for 8 years, and so what that has done is set us up very well to pivot in this moment of crisis in this pandemic to be able to move our programming entirely online. But before I tell you about that, I want to give you a little more background. We partner with a lot of universities, including Florida State, which I'm mentioning just because I know there are a lot of Florida people on the call. We've been working with Florida State for over 6 years. We help them build accredited programs. In the case of our program with Florida State, it won an award for Reimagined Higher Education several years ago. You can read about that. But we also partner with Stanford, University of Michigan. We offer accredited programs with them. So if you're wondering about, the caliber of our programming and the type of education your students are going to get, hopefully some of those universities can help build your confidence. But so anyway, let's talk about this Widening Circles program. As I've said, it's the newest program from Omprakash. And the real key thing that we're emphasizing is students can adapt this for what they're looking for, regardless of the stage of life. So if they're just looking for something this summer, it can easily be adapted to that. If it's a whole fall semester or the whole gap year, it can be adapted to that. The main point is that we're leveraging all of these assets we've been building for years. So that's our global network of social impact partners where your students can pursue internships. Let me be clear. If travel is allowed and or desirable, it's absolutely encouraged your students can travel. But the key point is that they don't have to. We have a very robust platform for facilitating online internships as well. And again, all of this is scaffolded with this award-winning online learning platform, Omprakash Edge. So I want to just emphasize that because I think in this moment, a lot of organizations are trying to pivot and saying, oh yeah, now we're offering programming online. But essentially what that means is just a series of Zoom calls and Google Docs and emails and whatever it may be. In this case, we're really talking about a custom-built online learning ecosystem that I'll show you in a moment. Again, there's also a lot of mentorship from our team. We have over a dozen Rhodes Scholars on our team, a lot of Fulbright Scholars, Peace Corps alums, some really distinguished, inspiring young people who can help your students and children clarify their own goals and direction. And again, we use curriculum. Obviously, we'll be adapting it for this particular program, but our curriculum has been accredited by a number of really top-tier universities. So we take pride in the fact that this is quite an intellectually rigorous program, although not necessarily only for students who are academic types. We support a really big range of different learners. So you can scroll through this page yourself, and I'll send the link into the chat to learn a bit more about the Widening Circles program in particular. But I did want to point out, in this one testimonial from one of our recent students, they said, I've decided to change my major, and that we see a lot of sort of career aspiration clarification that happens here. And I want to give you a glimpse. This is the EDGE online learning platform that we've developed. And so this is for the Widening Circles program. You can see students have already joined the program. It's officially kicking off on June 1st with rolling admission after that. But, I mentioned earlier that there's this whole digital portfolio component of what we do. So here's a recent gap year student of ours, Claire, and you can see this is Claire's digital portfolio. It's got a nice clean URL which she can share with future colleges or employers. This is obviously a very different thing than sharing, a blog that you wrote or sharing your Facebook page or your Instagram. We're giving young people an opportunity to represent themselves in digital space in a way that's really professional and thoughtful. And here you can see her profile is aggregating the different blog posts that she created throughout her time with Omprakash. Now, in her particular case, this was pre-COVID. She spent time in Costa Rica and in Peru, and then she had to come home early actually because of the pandemic. But in the case of your students this summer, they might not travel anywhere, but very much the same structure is still possible, where we will be connecting them with our global partners around the world. We'll be supporting them with mentorship and with our curriculum, and we'll be providing them with guidance to ultimately create this kind of digital portfolio representing their work. I've said a little bit about our team and our mentors, so I just want to kind of quickly show you that. But again, your students can request their own mentor from our team. It's really a diverse and amazing team of young people around the world who are doing all kinds of amazing stuff. And so your students can request mentors based on thematic interest, geographic interest, professional interest, and so on. And that brings us more or less to the end of the time, but I do also want to be very clear. The total program fee for everything I just described is $750. And for a long time, for 15 years, Omprakash has taken pride in trying to make global learning and gap years more ethical, more educational, and more affordable. And we take that very seriously. And it is not lost on us that many other providers literally charge 10x to 20x what we charge. And I can assure you that does not necessarily represent differences in quality. It's a different approach that we have. We don't sell package trips. We're not a travel agent. We don't do chaperone tours. So many organizations that you'll find, if you look up, internship abroad, volunteer abroad, you'll see these $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 packages. Omprakash over the last 15 years has developed a way to provide a similar kind of experience, but actually with more robust learning and mentorship for a fraction of the cost. I would love to tell you more anytime. I just typed it out here for easy to see, but my email address is just willie@omprakash.org. I'd love to hear from you. You can also just go to our homepage or check out this Widening Circles page, which I'll be sending around soon. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Willie. And then our last presenter before we go into the Q&A is Susan Cormick from Summer Discovery. Oops, let's do that. Susan, you can come online now.
Okay. Let's see. Sorry. We good to go?
You are good to go.
Show
Just get to your
my
screen.
screen. Okay, perfect, great. Well, thank you again, Jason and Barbara, for having me today. I do have a tough act to follow because those were two really interesting programs that I just learned about. So I love to learn about other options for students. I know that you as students and educators helping students plan their summers have lots of options. And so I'm super excited to share with you a little bit about summer discovery, and most importantly, summer discovery online. For those of you who don't know anything about Summer Discovery, I'll just give you a brief little history about us. So we are an old organization. We've been running a pre-college academic enrichment and internship programs for high school students for over 40 years. We are family owned and operated, and we work in a unique and true authentic partnership with universities across the United States, in the UK, and in Singapore. And one of the wonderful things is that although our programs all these years have been taught and run on campus, physically on campus, given the current situation that we're all facing today, we were able to quickly pivot or transform our summer discovery program that people have learned to grow and learn to love over the years into an online program. One of the unique things about the Summer Discovery online program that makes it really special is that we have taken and built our Summer Discovery online program modeled after our on-campus experience. So it's going to be more than just an academic-based program. It's going to bring the world-class academics to the forefront of the program and combine that with a vibrant and global community engagement component, as well as college readiness and success workshops and events and activities, and career exploration. So I'm really happy to, again today, to tell you a little bit more about the Summer Discovery Online program. Again, first and foremost, I think we're all here for the same reason, that although many of us aren't going to be able to travel and take part in programs outside of their home community or outside their homes, it's really important that you try to do something to spend your summer productively and meaningfully to prepare you for that transition to college in the future. We want our students, particularly here at Summer Discovery, to be able to have an experience that emulates our Summer Discovery pre-college on-campus experience and prepare them for the new educational landscape that they face in the future. Again, it's modeled after our traditional on-campus programs and is brought to you by our authentic university partnerships. Again, all of the world-class academics that we're going to offer this summer in an online world will involve also a virtual experiences both inside and outside the classroom. Our Summer Discovery online program is designed to help our students experience taking online courses at the university level. So separate and apart from the COVID-19, many of the universities here in the US offer many of their academic courses online. So many students will go to college and take a combination of in real time in-class courses as well as courses online. And so we want to prepare our students for that transition when they go off to college as well. We want them to be able to build a foundation for a competitive college application. And we think by doing something meaningful, particularly experiencing living and learning on a college campus, even though it's going to be in a virtual world, it will give them the ability to build a competitive college application. And then, of course, the opportunity to develop their academic and soft skills necessary to succeed both in the rest of their high school years, college, and beyond. The Summer Discovery online program is built on 4 pillars. The cornerstone of the program, again, is the academic portion. Our students will take 1 academic course, choosing from over 25 pre-college enrichment courses. All of the courses will be taught. Oh, I'm sorry, I lost my presentation. Oh, there you go. All of the courses will be taught by our university faculty and instructors, and they're actually courses that have been designed or modeled after undergraduate courses that they teach during the school year to their undergraduate students. Our courses are going to be offered in partnership with UCLA, UCLA's Anderson School of Management, CU Boulder, and the University of Texas in Austin. And the courses that we're going to offer this summer are in 5 subject areas, everything from business and entrepreneurship, leadership, STEM, the social sciences, and the arts. Just to give you a little flavor of the type of courses that you can expect to choose from, we're going to be offering things like a very popular course that we offer every year on campus, the Business of Entertainment, Media, and Sports with the Anderson School of Management, Sports Business, Digital Marketing as well with the Anderson School of Management. We have a number of different courses in STEM, subjects such as aerospace engineering, robotics, video game development with CU Boulder, and then a wide range of courses with also UCLA specifically and the University of Texas in Austin. Students will be engaged in the class in real time in synchronous learning for 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday in a 2-week program, and Monday through Thursday in a 3-week program. All of the real-time classes will be complemented with asynchronous learning, which will involve things like activities, exercises, projects, recordings for them to listen to, and readings. The in-class time will be vibrant and integrated using the learning management technology Canvas. I don't know if any of you are using Canvas right now with your high school learning, but we will be using Canvas with most of our university partners. And then some of our university partners, like the University of Texas in Austin, will use their own proprietary learning management technology system to bring the classroom to life. The classrooms will be interactive, so students will engage with each other in conversation, dialogue, as well as with the faculty. All of our students will receive a university certificate of completion from the university that the course is taught through. And we will, just like a typical on-campus experience, give our students access to their instructors outside of the classroom. It will be virtually during drop-in and scheduled of office hours. So we're excited to be able to bring that experience of taking class by university faculty member, professor, on a university campus, taking it virtually, getting a feel for what that university academics looks like and feels like in that particular subject area. Second to the academic portion is our community, our social and global community engagement component of the Summer Discovery online program. And again, this is really a key component of a traditional Summer Discovery on-campus program. So we certainly want to make sure that our students are going to get that experience virtually as well. Students who participate in a 2-week academic program will actually have access to the global community for the entire 6 weeks of the summer. So they'll be able to expand their community engagement experience beyond the classroom and beyond the session of the class that they're taking. There will be additional 3 to 4 optional hours of activities planned for the students to participate in with all of the students throughout the program, just outside of their classroom as well. Most of those activities will be live, real time. Some will require some pre-registration or sign-ups. Some will be recorded and offered to you at your convenience or what's available to you in your time frame. Again, a big piece of being on a summer discovery program is learning how to manage your time, learning how to make use of your time, being productive with your time, so that you can have a meaningful experience over the course of the program. The online community will be spearheaded by our online community coordinators. So many students who have participated in the Summer Discovery Program on campus knows the importance of the resident counselor that they're assigned to, that helps mentor and supervise them through the program. We're going to bring that same component to the online program and give our students an online community coordinator to mentor them and supervise them through the summer. The online community coordinator will also give them access to and show them how to find the online community programming calendar, again, for the entire 6 weeks of the program. And prior to the start of the program, we're going to have our students take part in a student-parent pre-summer orientation, as well as provide them with a handbook of the standards of conduct when they're on the program. The third very important pillar to the Summer Discovery online program is college success or college readiness. We want to make sure that our students are getting the opportunity to fully engage in a college experience and prepare themselves for that transition to college after high school. We want them to have a better understanding of what it means to be ready for college, to cultivate those emotional intelligence and soft skills necessary to be successful in college. And we'll do that in a number of different ways. We're going to give them opportunity to hear from current undergraduate students and mentors on what it's like to live and learn on a college campus. I think that's really important because they're not going to be able to do it physically. We want them to get a feel for what that is really like. The second thing I think that some of our students might be missing this year because travel's been at a halt is that opportunity to go and visit colleges, particularly if they're in 10th or 11th grade and starting to prepare their college list. So we're going to provide virtual campus tours, sessions with admissions counselors, and sessions on learning how to research the college options, prepare the college essay, and things like that. So they have a full understanding of the new college admissions landscape while they're on campus this summer, as well as learning how to explore different majors and what those majors require. And the last pillar is our career exploration pillar. And of course, it's never too early to start thinking about what happens out. Oh, I apologize, somebody's calling me. It's never too early to start to look at what happens outside after college. What are your career plans after college? And so we want to start to prepare our students with the skills they'll need to be successful, both as they look for internships while they're in college or perhaps even in high school, and then get out into the work world after college. As many of you know, Summer Discovery offers a very vibrant internship program in a typical summer, and this year, although we're not able to offer internships virtually, we do want to make sure that we give you opportunity to develop those skills necessary to succeed in business. So we'll have workshops on career exploration and professional development, workshops on building a resume, building a LinkedIn profile, interviewing. We'll have we'll have career panels with professionals from different industries so you can learn about different career pathways. And you can learn how to link your personal goals and interests with the majors that you might undertake and possible careers from those majors. We want to help our students develop the professional etiquette and communication skills also necessary to be successful in the business world. For our students who participate in a minimum number of college readiness workshops as well as career exploration workshops, we're going to give them an additional certificate of completion, a college and career certificate of completion, to allow them to put that into their college application as well. I just wanted to give you a quick little overview of what a typical week might look like in the summer during the 2-week session where you're taking your classes. And then of course, after that 2 weeks or before that 2-week session where you're taking your academic portion of the summer program, what other things are available to you as part of the ongoing community engagement. So a typical week, Monday through Friday, again, the 2 hours of real-time class time is mandatory. Outside of the class time, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but classes are offered at various times to accommodate different time zones. All of the different classes that we're offering this summer are available on our website, and they tell you what sessions those classes are being offered in, as well as the times that those classes will take place. So again, students will be required to attend the real time, the synchronous class time every day, Monday through Friday in a 2-week session, Monday through Thursday in a 3-week session, depending on the time it's being taught. And then outside the class, they'll have about an hour to an hour and a half of outside of class time homework or work to do to either review the material from the day or prepare for the next day's discussion. And then when they're done with their academic portion for the day, again, they'll have about 3 to 4 hours of additional optional community programming. They can pick and choose what they want to partake in. Some of it, again, will be live in real time. Others will be provided to them in pre-recorded methods. Most of the live activities will be social, fun, recreational, again, to bring that community life to the virtual world. Things like movie discussions, lunch and learns, college connections, how to write that killer resume or that killer application essay, trivia, yoga sessions, a wide range of things to fulfill all people's needs and interests while they're on campus. And last, another key component of a summer discovery program, of course, and we always want to talk about this, is we always take the safety, the supervision, and the structure of our students as our top priority here at Summer Discovery. And we want to let you know that we're going to continue in that and provide a lot of support and orientation throughout the Summer Discovery online program. It'll begin with a pre-orientation 1 week before the start of the academic portion of the students' program, where we'll go through in real time a walkthrough of the tools and the learning management technology that we'll be using in the class. In most cases, again, that will be Canvas. In other cases, it'll be the university's proprietary technology. But we want to make sure that our students are well prepared to be successful in the course and understand how to manage the learning technology tools available to them. We also want to help our students further identify a personal space or work areas to be successful for learning at home. Most of them probably have already started to look at that since they've been doing it for quite some time, but we just want to make sure they're continued to prepare to do that, particularly in a summer experience when the actual class time may only be about 2 hours a day, and the rest of the time they're going to learn how to build their own schedule, manage their own schedule, and set their own priorities. The second piece of the orientation will take place on the first day of the program, where they'll meet their online community coordinators. They'll meet other students that have been assigned to the same community coordinator, as well as other students in the program. They'll be shown where and how to access the community calendar of events, and they'll review the community standards and codes of conduct that we expect out of our students over the course of the summer. On the first day of their academics, they'll have a class orientation where you'll meet your instructor and the faculty member teaching the class, as well as the TAs assisting with the class and the other classmates within the class. I didn't talk about this before, but I will just touch upon the class size. So typically the classes will be small to mid-size, anywhere from 25 to 40, depending on the class, the content, and the nature of the course. Once it gets a little bit bigger, they will may start out in a large group in that real-time class format in terms of a guest speaker or a lecture, and then break out into small groups within the context of the online learning. That first day of the program, the professor or the faculty member teaching the course will discuss the course learning objectives and the expectations for the students both inside and outside the class, and review all of the technology tools and course materials needed to be successful in the class. Talk a little bit about what would be next if someone was interested in joining us at Summer Discovery Online this summer. I just want to review the sessions and the dates of those sessions and the tuition. So for a 2-week program, there are 3 session dates. And again, a student would select one academic course at the time that is most convenient to him or her within a 2-week period, but have access to the 6 weeks of community, college readiness, and career exploration. The sessions are here on my screen, and the price of the tuition is $2,699. The 3-week program in partnership with the University of Texas in Austin is academic only. Those students will be, again, in class for 2 hours a day in real time, Monday through Thursday, and then have 1 to 2 hours of class work outside of that real-time synchronous learning. There's one session, June 29th to the 16th, and the tuition is $2,999. We do have some savings for our alumni. Our alumni are currently enrolled or applied or enrolled students in Summer Discovery that may want to move their application to the online program, or previous participants of a Summer Discovery program and their siblings. They will receive $200 savings. Many of our students want to take 2 classes in the course of the summer, and so they will be signing up for 2. Yes.
I'm
Should I
sorry.
go over?
I'm gonna ask if we can just email this
Yep.
information out so we can get to.
Absolutely. Yep. No problem.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Thank you. Everybody, come back online, and I'll let Barbara take over with the Q&A.
I thought I would ask you each to think about some of your success stories as they relate to solving real world problems, creativity and opportunities for leadership, communication and team building, ability to take risks, or improved motivation for learning. So, Willie, how about if I start with you? Can you give me one of your success stories related to one of those areas?
Sure. I mean, you know, right from the beginning, Omprakash has been about going back to what I would say has been lost a lot in the era of what some people would call like helicopter parenting and highly commodified, highly chaperoned experiences that are, you know, designed to go on someone's resume. I think those efforts can often backfire because, you know, whether you're talking about a college admissions officer or an employer or just any life challenge, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how good something looks or sounds on your resume if you, the student, haven't had to actually do some independent thinking and problem solving, and it's just been kind of served up to you and, you know, pay your deposit here and then we take care of it. So right from the beginning, Omprakash has been about sort of providing an alternative to that paradigm. And that takes several forms, but the main point is we don't sell packaged trips. That's just not what we do. We empower students with training and mentorship that allow them to apply to work with our partner organizations, interview, go through the whole process of researching opportunities, interviewing, ultimately securing an internship. We then have structures in place called work plan agreements, but where we really support both sides to make sure it's mutually productive. But so at the end of that experience, a student might go through Omprakash to do an internship with an organization in India, let's just say, or in the current moment, it might be an online internship. But either way, that's something that they've researched, they've applied for, they've learned about, they've built this whole digital portfolio along the way. That is very different than a student who paid probably 10x to buy a chaperone trip to India, and it might still appear on their resume as, you know, volunteered in India or whatever, but we're really talking about a fundamentally different thing in terms of leadership cultivation and personal and professional development. So I would say every student who goes through our program is forced to take that kind of personal responsibility and demonstrate that sort of self-leadership and vision because we're not interested in serving things up to students or parents on a silver platter. That's just not what we do. So happy to share more, but that's one example. Thanks for that question, Barb.
Ron, want to speak a little bit to the creativity and opportunities for leadership, or maybe some of the risk-taking, teamwork?
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I think one of the first most important thing is advocacy. The way we create leaders and we improve the lives of these students is by helping them find their voice and being able to speak for yourself, being able to speak to the community allows them to be leaders. We also focus a lot of our secondly is we don't give kids in our program a toolbox for how to be debaters. We look at the 6 C's and we teach the kids how to be good advocates, not debaters. And when I say that, we teach them about collaboration, cooperation, conflict resolution, all things to become really good leaders. We do teamwork exercises, we do leadership exercises. To the point of your question of examples, we've had thousands of students, and I would use this as an aggregate of 2 examples. One is you have the very high achieving student, and our success stories are filled with kids who get into their top colleges of choice, Harvard, whatever it is, and then they go on. Like we have. I was just on a virtual reunion with them, and they've got into Google, Facebook. The second one is a student that's bored in school, and we have a whole lot of them. They're shy, but they're not challenged. And debate is a game that makes them want to learn. Thank you.
Susan, you want to talk a little bit about how experiential learning made a difference, for example, for your son?
Sure, absolutely. So one of the things that I always bring out is that the opportunity to do something meaningful in the summer or throughout the school year outside of the classroom is equally as important in that college application process, but more importantly, just to build that character in the child and help him find his own voice and what is important to him in life. And so my son actually went to a very upper middle class high school, very high achieving high school, and most of his students were, straight A students. Most of his friends were straight A students, and all vying for those top Ivy League spots for college. And he was a good student. He was certainly above average, but he wasn't in the a 4.0 student with the top test scores. And when it came time to the college application process, very often he was told to look at a different type of school than he eventually wanted to go to. And we remember when we started to prepare for college, we didn't really think about all the things he had done leading up to that 11th grade. But when we started to put it together as a package and he started to think about it, he saw that all those experiential learnings made a difference in his college application process. So he, everything from doing internships in the summer, pursuing areas that he thought he wanted to major in, being involved with clubs in the community that helped, him sort of formulate who he was and what he wanted to do when he went off to college, helped him really stand out amongst his competition and get into his first choice college because of that.
Can all of you accommodate students who have learning differences? Everyone, yes?
Yeah, I'd love to speak to that. In addition to leading Omprakash, I teach as a faculty member at the University of Washington. And so through that, I'm familiar with Canvas and with other kinds of online learning technologies. And I would just say we developed our Edge online learning platform specifically with the goal of creating more opportunities for differentiated instruction, more opportunities for students of different types of backgrounds and learning styles to succeed. Unfortunately, what I've learned as a classroom teacher, I also used to teach public high school in Maine. A lot of students don't do well listening to listening to lectures, period, let alone video lectures while they're kind of scrolling through Instagram at the same time. And it's ironic to me that as we're at this moment right now of true innovation and revolution in online learning and how many people are doing online learning, the pedagogy employed is oftentimes archaic. It's, expert stands at the front of the room or the front of the video screen and talks at you. And if you're not a good verbal processor, you're kind of out of luck. And so the whole Edge online learning platform that we've developed over the last 7 or 8 years and for which we won awards is about exploration and discovery. It's not about experts. There's no PowerPoints. There's no lectures. It's about, there is a curriculum with content, but then students are exploring and creating on their own. So their final portfolio might have an academic research paper with citations, and they'll have a mentor who's maybe a PhD student that's helping them with that. Other students, their final portfolio might showcase photography, video, art, music. So it's really about breaking outside of the idea that learning has to mean, getting lectured at or looking at a PowerPoint and then taking a quiz. We've built our whole platform around that principle. And again, we've been accredited by Stanford, Michigan, Florida State, University of Illinois, Colby College, Claremont McKenna, really a wide range of small, private, elite liberal arts universities, as well as large public universities. So I think what we're doing works. And the key thing is that it works in a way that normal unidirectional content transfer, which is kind of the dominant paradigm of education in this country, that doesn't work for a lot of people.
Ron, I wanted to ask you the question. I know that you have 2-week camps over the summer. Are there any kinds of public speaking or debate competitions that a student could participate in virtually during the school year?
Yeah, that's a great question. Absolutely. We had to, our national debate championships for our club league, we have a couple hundred students involved. It was May. We had to move the entire platform online, but we've been doing this for 8 years, and it was an eye opener because it allowed us so many more opportunities, because it's very difficult to have a tournament in just to get all the students in the country nationally, you have to be able to have locations at hotels or schools. We got kids from all over, and it was really successful. And we'll do it this summer too. We have a lot of kids who learn can go into a summer league. They can do it in the fall.
Then one quick question. Is there financial aid or scholarships available to your programs?
Yes.
Yes, really yes. Susan?
So we do work with a number of different nonprofit organizations that provide scholarship opportunities, yes.
Great. Jason, do you have any questions from our viewers?
Just a couple. Let me bring them up. I'd like to thank you all for coming on with us today. Let's see here. Questions. For capital debate, do you help students who have no experience in debate?
Yeah, absolutely. That's our bread and butter. We differentiate ourselves from other camps that work with kids who just are in competitive debate. 90% of our population are kids who are taking it as enrichment. They've never debated before. So that's our big thing, is working with new kids.
And Willie, your website says that Edge is $750. Is that for the summer, a semester, for a full year?
That's a great question as well. And the answer is all of the above. Now, that might seem crazy, but that's kind of how we've developed our model. Now, if students are traveling and living abroad with our partners, which is the norm pre-COVID, then obviously the travel and living expenses varies based on location. But the EDGE program fee, and the only fee that people pay to Omprakash, because again, we're not travel agents, we're educators. The fee they pay to us is a fee to access our EDGE online learning community platform and to get a mentor. And then students typically are enrolled in one primary classroom, which the default is either 10 or 12 weeks of length, but a student can compress that down and say, hey, I want to kind of sprint through the classroom in the next few weeks, or they can stretch it out and say, I'm going to take my time and do it over several months. But in any case, after they finish the classroom, then they're sort of immersed in their internship, and that could go from anywhere from 1 to 2 months to a year, but the fee they pay is the same.
Thank you. And Ron, another question. Can students pick debate topics? And how long is your program, the summer program?
Great. I'll answer the last one first. The summer, we offer in the our virtual programs, we offer 1-week programs. They're 5 days, 9 to 5. We offer 2-week academies, same thing. But traditionally all our camps, when it's on campus, are 2 weeks. To the second question, can they pick their topics? Yes, we have kids do mini debates every single day, or extempts, their speeches that they do, and they could pick that. But across all our camps, we also have the same topic that they all have to debate, because we want people to go in depth, and so we have to have a topic. And ours this year is that that government regulation on social media is justified. So we do debate that across, but we also allow them to pick their topics in other speeches.
Thank you. And just one question for all of you. Can you just state the age ranges of the kids you work with in all of your programs?
Open to all
Susan,
ages. Sorry.
That's all right.
Doesn't
Go
matter.
ahead.
Will, you just started, so take it away.
Go ahead.
Open to all ages. Younger than 18 obviously needs a parent or guardian signature, but open to all ages.
Summer Discovery Online is for students 14 to 18.
We have online public speaking for 9 and 10-year-olds. All the debate and other communication courses are for 11 to 17, and we separate them by age.
Well, again, I'd love to thank you all again for your time tonight. Thank you everyone in the audience. If you missed some of our past webinars, we have recordings of all of them. You can access them at scorewebinars.com. We have a bunch of webinars that are coming up as well. There's links for them at scorewebinars.com as well. Thank you all, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. And have a great night. Thank you everybody for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks,
inviting me.
everyone.
Pleasure
Bye,
meeting
thank you.
you.
Good night. Stay safe.